Eric Burgess here with Music Marketing TV. Today we are with Hive 2. We're going to be making a square pad kind of a deal, but it's also going to be sort of a pluck. It's going to be like a really long pluck. We're going to layer it up and make it just sound really lush, going for just sort of a nice keys patch, essentially. Here's a preview. So now that you've heard the preview, I'm starting from scratch so that you just see all the steps. So let's dive in. So first off, let's just right click at the top, go to init so that we're all starting from the same place. Plan of attack. We want some noise layer stuff. We want some unison PWM style stuff, and potentially another layer that could be some sort of a wave shape. So first off, let's go for, if you come in here, there's already a pulse control. Now this pulse control, the pulse wave stuff, has no control here. You just have to like modulate it just directly. So if we just play this, this is a square wave. So we're going to take this here and we are going to grab LFO1, move it on over here, and this is going to move it for us. We're going to make this quite a bit slower, like, I don't know, 2 to 1 perhaps. And we're going to give it a depth. So down here in Matrix A, it's now appeared. And we're going to give it just a little bit of a positive depth here. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Okay, cool. Next thing, let's just toss this on early on. Let's go for like a unison of like 4 or something. Let's also make this, let's adjust the envelope here. Let's get rid of the sustain, bring the release way up and the decay way up. Maybe the release a little bit shorter than that. So that when you hold the note, the decay takes its time, but when you release, there's enough of a release that it finishes off nicely. This is going to be a trend we're going to do. So we're just going to have like decay and release. We're not really going to mess with sustain or attack. Okay, so with these things sort of figured out, let's bring the detune up maybe a little bit. And maybe we'll go with the dirty engine. Might help a little bit with the vibe we're going for here. For this, let's go up an octave. I think that's going to be a good vibe. And next up, let's set up the first filter. So we're going to choose low pass 24, low pass 12. Those are both good decisions. We'll go with low pass 24 to start. We're going to send in here oscillator 1, and then oscillator 1 will be given a positive mod depth by mod. Setting up envelopes always throws me off, so excuse me if I get a little confused as I do this. But we're going to go with the same envelope, so long decay, long decay, and release. And this is going to move this and set this down so it just shaves off most of the stuff right away. And we've gone the wrong direction. Let's go the other way. And now it's inverted. Oh, geez. Yep, this is, I told you, envelopes sometimes just confuse me so much. Okay, so let's think about this. We have it positive. So the attack's going to go really quickly. So this is going to move it up very quickly. Then it's going to decay over a long time, release over a long time. There's no sustain. So we mayhaps need to set this much lower and give it less depth. There we go. That's more what we're looking for. You just gotta think through it. So now that's a little aggressive there, so let's maybe move this up. I want some of the high end. And maybe bring the detune up. Just so we get a little bit more of that lovely detune in there. And let's look at this and potentially change the rate to something a little bit faster. 2 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 2. Yeah, Yeah, something around there. I want to be careful about these first steps because they're going to be kind of core steps that we build other stuff on. Maybe make it a bit shorter. Actually, leave the release. And maybe bring this down a touch. Just a little bit more. Yeah, there we got, I feel like that's the right mix there. Okay, so let's look at bringing in the first sub. I just want this to be a layer to what's already happening here. So we're going to leave it on pulse. That's pretty good. There's a bunch of other options in here, but pulse is going to vibe just fine. We're going to bring it up an octave. This is just going to serve as a reinforcement for the fundamental. We don't need to have a lower thing. We're going to bring the volume down some, and we're going to route this through here as well. So sub 1. Maybe we'll go down an octave. Let's just hear it. We'll keep it up for now. It's just tucked away in our back pocket if we need it. Okay, cool. So with that, let's look over here at sub 2 and some of the other options. So we've got a second oscillator and a sub 2. So this is where let's look at some layers. And then maybe we'll take a look at some effects. So first off, I already kind of know I want some noise stuff happening here. So I'm going to send in some white noise. And I want this white noise on amp 2. We're going to have a similar shape. So we're going to bring the sustain way down, decay up, release up. And let's just solo this so we can get this shape right. And we need to send this through one of the options here in order to get this out. So we're going to go through, where are we at here? Sub 2. Yeah, let's bring this down. Maybe a longer release, shorter decay. Okay, and while we're here, this is coming through filter 2. Let's move this. I want to do some shaving. We've got some interesting options here, like a reverb. That could be kind of cool. But I'm going to go with just a bandpass. This could work. And we're going to give it a high resonance. You can actually self-oscillate like that. I think that's kind of a cool thing. And we're going to do this in parallel with what's already going on over here. So I'm going to unsolo this and just sort of tune this. Whatever. I'm going to set it right there. Somewhere around there. Okay, we'll come back to it. Maybe dial it back to smidge. And I'm going to do this in parallel with what's here. So all we have to do is just send these over. You could also do serial by sending like filter 1 over here. You see there's a filter 1 input. This might influence my decision on where I put this a little more. You know what? Whatever. Good enough. So we've got some noise in now. We're going to take the decay, the volume down. And we're also going to send sub 2 through here. In fact, I think we'll leave it out from here and just send it through here and just treat this as a shaping thing instead of using it to like tune the noise. And we will take the volume and on amp 2, we will now make this. Oh, you know what? Since this is now going through this envelope, it's going to be controlled by these things. So I kind of want to have a little more control over this particular volume control. So I'm going to use mod 2 to do this. I'm just going to grab it and we're going to set the sustain low. We are going to give mod 2 full reign over this. So we're going to set this down and we are going to give it, I think we want it positively routed. Yeah. Perfect. So and peak noise could also work. Yeah, I know. We're staying with the white noise for shizzle. Make it a little bit longer and bring the depth down a bit. This essentially acts as the volume control now. Okay, that's just fine. And so we've got this coming in. And let's set this. Okay, and let's add one more layer on here. So we're going to take this, we're going to change it. Let's just look for an interesting wavetable. So we're going to go wavetable 2, browse wavetables. And there's a lot of options. I'm going to look for, oh, this says pulse train. This might work. Sharp pulse variation, strong. Okay. And let's go ahead and send this through here. Give it a high unison order, like 4 or something. And we're going to send this through our filter as well. And not have it come in here. I'm not sure I'm vibing this particular wavetable. Let's look at some others. Pulse train has too many pulses going on in it. Let's go for just simple. And we've got a triangle. This is an option with some bit reduction. Send this through here. Interesting way to try and bring some noise in. And let's go ahead. Let's have this get modulated by LFO1 as well. And we will give this a positive depth. Oh, LFO1's kind of, going pretty quick. So maybe we won't. I don't know. Let's dig through here a bit. Let's bring the detune up. Oh, yeah. On that noise, let's bring this down some. I'm double thinking if I even want the noise in this. I don't know. We'll see. So let's come in here. We'll turn on the chorus first. That's pretty fine for me. Let's put the compressor at the end and turn this on. Bring the output down some. Verb, of course. Size up, decay up. Let's leave the mix where it's at, perhaps. A delay could be interesting. Phaser in an EQ. Let's put the verb after the EQ. If we give this a boost on the highs or the mids, it's got a bit too forward of a output right now. So let's just take the volume. Just bring this all the way down. Just hunt him for another area. Let's try a... There's definitely some nice motions. Let's try lower. If we lose these, I don't feel like our second filter is pulling weight. You know what I'm saying? So instead, let's route these all through maybe a comb filter. Instead of a comb, maybe a reverb. Okay, I might go down this route. The mix on the reverb, having it at 100% with a long decay, maybe mixing this back a bit, but maybe going real verb heavy. Something like that. Hunting for the tone just a smidge, but backing this off a touch. Then bringing that decay back up. Oh, we might be on to something special. I don't want to just stop at a regular pluck, you know? That's gonna be magical. Okay, so I altered the octaves on here to be backwards. So this is now at the root, and this is now up an octave. Played with a cutoff. Cutoff over here with the reverb is also a very interesting thing to sort of play with. But I think we're gonna call it here. So we are capable now of some pretty nice open things. Like if we were to do like an open C7 to like, I don't know, an F minor to a G. Maybe a G like with a C in it. And then go back to that C7. You know, and if we go for the very high end stuff. And if you want that extra sparkly like aftertaste for the arps, you can dial up the decay and the release. And it hangs around for a really long time. So you can do like... And it will go away as time goes on. A good way to like naturally introduce like cluster chords and stuff. It's a fun way to do it. I have to go up an octave. Yeah, so there's the patch. If you have any questions about this or anything you saw, let me know. I know I cut out quite a bit there at the end because it's just a lot of fiddling to get things to sit just exactly where you want them. I guess we should do the save. We'll call this Heaven's Pluck. I don't know. And then that's fine. Save it as is. If you have any questions again, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos. And have a blessed day.